Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Mary Beth Sewald. She's the president and CEO of the Vegas Chamber, for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Hello, is this D&D Roofing?
Yes, it is. How may I help you?
You did such a great job on my roof. May I speak to the owner?
I am an owner.
Oh, can I speak to your supervisor?
Sure.
How may I help you?
I love your work. May I speak to the owner?
I am an owner. We're all owners. Well, that's why at D&D we work so hard to keep your home safe and sound.
Oh, no wonder.
D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal. Local, employee-owned, here for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology, like this electronic eye, that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you, because trucks move America forward.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are delighted, as always, to have Mary Beth Sewald join us. She's the president and CEO of the Vegas Chamber. Welcome to the program, Mary Beth.
Thank you, Sam.
So the governor announced this morning on Good Morning America, which is kind of an unusual location, that he plans to extend the stay-at-home order for another 2 weeks. Your initial thoughts and the thoughts of your members so far on this?
Well, first of all, Sam, I would say that the Vegas Chamber has been working in very close communications with the governor and his staff, and we commend him on staying in such close communication with us, that trying really to keep his finger on the pulse of the business community. And at his request, the Vegas Chamber provided detailed industry-specific suggestions to advance the development of his roadmap to recovery. Having said that, the feedback that we're getting from our members is pretty varied. Some people are very, we commend him for working very hard to keep those of us in Nevada very safe. He has a lot of experts that are surrounding him, and he's trying to keep people safe and to keep people healthy. The other side of that coin from our members is they're saying, we're in dire straits. The longer we stay closed, the harder it will be to ever restart our community and our economy again. And some of them are saying that they're going out of business completely. So it's a fine line, I think, the state's trying to walk. Having said that too, though, I would say that we are in a better position, at least in some regards, than other states who are opening prior to Nevada. And what I'm hoping to be able to do is to watch and see what some of their best practices are, and if there are things that we can glean from other states so that we can do things just as well as we possibly can here in Nevada.
So one of the things that surprised me about his announcement on GMA was the fact that MGM and Wynn Resorts had both made announcements regarding being prepared to open in time for Memorial Day or close to it, and taking room reservations. The same story for Treasure Island. And I would have thought that there would be more communication from the resort industry and the governor's office, and he kind of seemed to put the kibosh on that.
Well, like you, I also know that Wynn Resorts and the others are working very hard to try to they've put together their plans for reopen. I think the Wynn in particular has hired or has contracted with some medical professionals and experts to help them navigate these very difficult times. And, you know, I think those organizations have a pretty good feel for what they need to do to keep their employees safe and to keep their patrons safe. And so, you know, I think, again, like the small businesses, the large properties in Southern Nevada and certainly in Northern Nevada as well, are just trying to do everything they can, number one, to keep everybody safe and healthy and to protect themselves against those liabilities, and also to restart just as soon as they can to restart that economic engine in Nevada.
Yeah, the other interesting point, I think, is that 2 weeks ago on the program, the head of UMC was on the program, and he was talking about how the curve had been flattened in pretty much every area that we were hoping to. And so, as that was the reason for the shutdown to begin with, it just seems a little strange that, you know, we're not moving towards somewhat normalization in the way that we've seen the Costco's and the Walmarts and Whole Foods and other stores, grocery stores, all setting out safe practices, the 6 feet distancing, putting up guards for the cashiers. It would just seem that more businesses could follow in that path. And I'm sure you've got to be hearing that from your members, saying, you know, if we can go to the grocery store and shop safely or relatively safely, can't we go to the furniture store? Can't we go to other stores? Is that what you're hearing from your members as well?
We definitely are hearing that, Sam. You bring up a great point, and we kind of call it the grocery store business model, the grocery store model. And there are a lot of businesses who, while they want to and they are complying with the governor's directives as much as possible, they are starting to put together plans and things called, for example, curbside commerce, where maybe it's a business that typically would have been one that you'd go into. Now they are reorganizing their organization and their business model so that they can still do business or restart their business by curbside. So that's an absolute possibility.
We had the mayor of Elko on the program earlier today for a taping, and he was saying that he, you know, had sent an editorial as a way of sending a letter to the governor and saying that, you know, Elko is not the same as Las Vegas or Reno and Sparks, and that perhaps there should be, you know, different rules for different parts of the state. But it seems like the governor is just saying, you know, there's one way and that's it.
Well, yes, I've heard from the rurals as well. I'm on several calls per day that include rural chambers and rural businesses and organizations, and that is something that they've suggested. You know, I'm not sure that government has the ability to do specific guidelines for each of the parts of the state. It could be that you know, maybe we look to those parts of the state to provide those best practices and what do they recommend that would help them to get restarted. So it's a challenging time because not only is every area of Nevada different, every business is different, and we all have our own needs. And that's why the Vegas Chamber was so you know, eager to put together this industry-specific, these suggestions for the governor to use potentially in his roadmap to recovery. And so I've heard the same thing though, Sam. The rurals are saying, well, you know, we don't have any instances of COVID-19, so why not let us reopen? And truth be told, I don't think those of us from, say, for example, Las Vegas are going to flock to some of the smaller areas to go buy apparel or things like that. but a lot of their locals would, and so potentially that's an option that the governor will consider.
State Senator Ben Keekeffer also taped a program with us this morning. It was a busy morning here, to say the least. And he said that he thinks that there's a need for a special session to be called by June, because he said with the new fiscal year starting, that we're already going to be $1 billion in the hole going into the next fiscal year. Is there talk from your members about the need, and from your own staff, about potentially the need for a special session?
There's been a lot of talk about the potential of one, and that it would be in June. I think that's probably not a bad idea. I think, and I've heard, I don't know for sure, that that's definitely going to happen. I know the governor was talking about it. So, I think there are a lot of reasons to go into a special session. Financially, the state is going to be in, I think it's safe to say, the worst financial position in its history.
To say the least. Let's take a break. We'll come back more with Mary Beth Sewald from the Las Vegas Chamber after this time out.
Safety. We all think about it. You think about it when he buckles in, when you check your mirrors and put away your phone. RTC thinks about safety too. In fact, we create it. Center turn lanes mean fewer blind spots. Bike lanes keep cyclists and you safe. Roundabouts reduce injury collisions, and all these crosswalks are designed to keep families like yours safe. Safety is your priority, and it's ours too. Every day, in everything we do.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Because of UMC, I'm putting my free time to good use.
Because of UMC, she keeps me on my toes.
Because of UMC and this guy, I'm here.
UMC, the highest level of care in Nevada.
Hi, I'm Eric Robnett, owner of Home Energy Experts. Has this ever happened to you?
Honey, did you remember to turn down the thermostat?
Forgetting to set the temperature? Not fun. We can help. Our new smart thermostat keeps the temperature set for your comfort all by itself.
I'm feeling hot now.
To increase your comfort, go to homeenergyexperts.com for details. That's homeenergyexperts.com.
The signs and symptoms of cataracts can start out small with subtle changes in your vision. So don't wait. Be proactive and take your vision into your own hands. If you're experiencing the onset of cataracts or just have questions, contact your eye care professional or call Eye Care Associates of Nevada today. Dr. Hiss has years of experience specializing in the surgical correction of eye disorders and has completed over 84,000 vision correcting procedures. At Eye Care Associates of Nevada, we'll change the way you look at the world.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Mary Beth Sewald. She's the president and CEO of the Vegas Chamber. Now, you sit on the Convention Authority Board in Las Vegas, obviously a hugely important position and a hugely important board. What is the discussion at this point about, is there even a discussion about a time frame for when we can start looking at conventions returning to Las Vegas?
Well, Sam, like all other businesses in Nevada and all other people, most other people in Nevada, the LVCVA is working to, follow the directives of the governor and to practice all the stay-at-home, social distancing, things like that. Part of what's going to dictate the economy of Las Vegas and Southern Nevada and the whole state is when people feel comfortable traveling again. And so while I think the LVCVA is certainly doing everything proactively that they can to mitigate the losses, I know a lot of the conventions actually have gone ahead and committed to later dates in the year and certainly in 2021. I know we've been talking about the NFL draft happening still. And so there are a lot of things that the LVCVA is doing to try to shore up and mitigate the losses and to try to, instill confidence in those conventions and travelers and visitors to come back to Vegas, but it has to be when the time is right.
Does anybody, want to put a date on this? I mean, are they thinking that by third or fourth quarter of this year that you might start to see potentially smaller conventions returning, or are we looking at 2021 before they think about it?
That's a really good question, Sam. That would be the $1 million question. I guess if we had the answer, we'd be living on yachts somewhere in the Caribbean. I don't think we know that. I really have not heard any date. Some of the smaller conventions and they're looking to be optimistic and they're wanting to come back in potentially fourth quarter. And there are some events. It's really going to depend on when the state opens back up and when people feel confident enough to travel.
You had the opportunity to interview Jim Murin for your program that the Vegas Chamber puts out, and I'll be happy to share that when you do post that. But what were you able to glean from Mr. Murin, former head of MGM and leading up a portion of the governor's task force?
Well, yeah, that's what I was just going to say, Sam. As you know, Jim Murin is leading up that portion of the governor's task force that is focused on procurement and acquisition of PPE, the personal protective equipment that the state has been in such dire need of for our hospitals, for our safety workers, and for other workers who need things like ventilators and you name it. And Mr. Murin's task force has been extremely valuable. He said, what I needed to do was open up my Rolodex. And he said, I've been calling in a lot of favors. And so, I was very appreciative of that. And I think all of our first responders have been, because they've been able to procure most of the PPE that we've needed here in the state. And that has been an integral part of our ability to move forward, to flatten that curve, and eventually to reopen our economy.
So when we get to reopening our economy, one of the issues that's going to come up are liability issues of returning to work. What kind of liability will businesses have if somebody goes to their store, their office, or whatever, and ends up with the virus? Where do you think we are with that?
Well, that's a great question, Sam. And a lot of our members are concerned already because, for example, you have not only employees who we have to take care of, but anytime we invite outside folks into events like the Chamber does, or we invite patrons into our place of business, there potentially is a risk of folks getting sick. And so, first of all, it behooves all of our organizations to take all of the steps that we possibly can with the social distancing and masks and sanitization steps and things like that. On the other hand, I think that it's important for people to realize that the onus so far will be on folks who get sick to be able to prove, and it's going to be very difficult to prove where a person did get sick. And so it's a challenging time right now. And of course, all companies, we all want people to stay healthy and safe, and we want to take the utmost in precautions that we possibly can, because the last thing anybody wants is for somebody to get sick. And so it's a challenging time that businesses are trying to navigate right now. And we're recommending that companies, speak with their attorneys, even talk with your accountants and things like that, to try to make sure that you're well aware and you're fully prepared when we do open our doors again.
And this is something that the legislature could address too. I don't know if it will be a special session or a regular session, but in the past, we saw the legislature deal with the issue of food when supermarkets and restaurants had excess food at the end of the day that was going to be thrown out. They wanted to be able to give it to charities, and they weren't doing it because of liability issues. And the legislature passed laws indemnifying those companies from any liability. And so potentially that's something else that could be done. By the way, for our people that are watching this, and they may not be watching it on the first day it is posted, we're taping this on April 29th. So we're taping this the day before the governor officially makes the announcement that he made this morning about when the state's going to reopen. So we're going to take a break and we'll come right back after this.
Dimitri Prine here for Design Outdoor. Come visit Design Outdoor's store and backyard to see our wide selection of fire pits, barbecues, and pizza ovens, natural stone water features and fountains, and frost-proof pottery. Our store and backyard are located at 11600 South Virginia, just north of DeMonte Ranch Parkway. Visit designoutdoor.com or call us at 851-9499.
One of the most psychologically damaging things parents can do to children in divorce is disparage one another, which is why I can't believe I even have to make this commercial. Half of your kids' genetics come from this person you're spewing hate about. Your children have the right to love you both, but more than that, they deserve to love themselves.
Marilyn York might be a men's rights divorce attorney, but this is for every selfish parent. Shut up!
Hi, I'm Dave Newman. Remember me? I used to be the house detective, and now I'm a realtor full-time at RE/MAX Realty Affiliates. A lot of people ask me, how's the market? You know what? It's fantastic. If you're even kicking around the idea of buying or selling, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Call me at RE/MAX Realty Affiliates and just ask for the guy who used to be the house detective, Dave Newman.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Mary Beth Sewald. She's the president and CEO of the Vegas Chamber, and we're taping this at midday on April 29th. Mary Beth, you're involved in a program called Switch to Kindness. So it's the Chamber and a couple of other organizations. Please tell us who else is involved and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, you know, Sam, it's a really great project. It's a great campaign, and we're very excited to be partnered with Switch, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department's foundation, and a company called it'son.me. This gives people an opportunity to put a direct infusion of cash into a business by buying a gift certificate. Just go to vegaschamber.com, look for the Switch to Kindness tab, buy a gift certificate from all kinds of chamber members, and then it goes straight to the Las Vegas Metro Police Department's foundation, and they distribute these gift certificates for free to a first responder. So it's an opportunity to support a business, thank a hero, and switch to kindness. So we're really excited.
Well, that's a great program. Another great program is that you've opened up free membership to the Chamber. Is that correct?
We have, yeah. You know, Sam, throughout this entire process, the Chamber has been providing so many really outstanding and valuable resources to our members. And we were getting calls from people who weren't members asking us for this valuable information. And of course, my entire team stepped up. We've been helping everybody we possibly can. But we said, you know what, why don't we just start to give away free memberships? That way people will get on our email distribution list. They'll be able to sign up for our webinars with the Small Business Administration and find out about these emergency loans. And they'll have access immediately to all these resources that we're providing. So we're thrilled to be able to do that. We've already signed up about 160 new members to the Chamber, and it's completely free. So no strings attached, and they just get to be members. It's a short term, about a 30-day process, but we're happy to do that.
You and I have been friends, no secret, for a long, long time, and I know you to be a very optimistic person. But I'm going to ask you, what are your biggest concerns for your businesses at this point in time, especially, and I know this is a big concern for you at the Chamber, your small businesses?
The biggest concern I have for our small businesses, and it's because of what I hear directly from them every day, their concern is their ability to do things like make payroll, to pay their rent on their businesses on their storefronts, their ability to survive. And I think it's a very dire time for our businesses, and they're concerned that they're going to lose their entire life savings. Their entire livelihood is going to be gone in the snap of a finger. And so, small businesses are the fabric of our community. They're our lifeblood. And so, to the degree that the Vegas Chamber can step up and help these small businesses keep their doors open, and I got to tell you, we have people calling us and writing us every single day telling us, thank you, because the Vegas Chamber is a huge reason why we're able to survive. And so those are the things that keep me awake at night and keep us motivated at the Vegas Chamber, that we can help these businesses keep their doors open.
Thank you so much, Mary Beth. You are incredibly busy right now, and I appreciate you taking out time to do this. And hopefully next time we talk, it'll be to better days.
Thank you, Sam.
And we'll be right back.
A bird's eye captures its surroundings at different heights. At Brian Culpa Photography, we can make your imagination soar over buildings, parks, cityscapes, and beyond. Brian's images tell the story and get the job done. If you need a new perspective to tell your story, contact Brian today. Brian Culpa Photography. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculpaphotography.com.
Hi, my name's Marilyn Miner, and I'm sure you'd agree that Nevada's a very special place to live. I was born here, and my husband and I have raised our family here. I feel it's a privilege to live and work in the Truckee Meadows. I especially enjoy helping my clients reach their real estate goals. Sometimes the smallest details provide the greatest satisfaction. I'd be complimented to talk to you about your next move.
Call Marilyn Miner at Dixon Realty, 742-1280, or log on to marilynminer.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
You can now watch Nevada Newsmakers on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search for Nevada Newsmakers and become a subscriber. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching and listening.